Hi there, I'm John Shields, and welcome to another episode of Chesapeake Farm and Bay to Table. It's been a little while since we've been out here cooking, and we're ready to go. We have a really good, I think, from my own vantage point, good show this evening. We're going to be taking a look at the connection between food, the environment, our bodies, the health of the bay, and the health of our local food economy. So we got a lot going on here, but we're gonna have a great time and a lot of fun doing it. So I do have to have help in this. You know, you've seen me do this many, many times. We do a lot of different recipes. We're gonna be doing a salad, we're doing with some beef, and we're gonna be doing sweet potato cakes that are spicy, and we might have a little hooch at the end. But to do that, I need my executive sous chef right here in the kitchen. That would be Mary Hassler, CEO of the Harford County Public Library System.
It's so good to be here, honey.
Oh, we're back.
We're back, and I heard the word hooch.
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 Okay, that's gonna be my favorite word tonight.
That's gonna be our touch word tonight.
I like it.
Yeah, whenever we do that. So anyway, I have been really looking forward to doing this episode. Because as you know, everything that I've been doing around the Chesapeake and the teaching that I've done is that connection of food, community, the health of the bay, the health of the environment. And you can find all of that in a pot. You really can. And so we did a little exploring yesterday, didn't we?
We certainly did.
We
Just
did.
a little bit of exploring.
And we took a trip down to Annapolis, right outside of Annapolis, to the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, to their headquarters, the Philip Merrill Center, which is very, very cool.
Very cool.
And then we took a drive out. Oh, it was a drive.
It was definitely a drive, but it was worthwhile.
It certainly was worthwhile. To Upper Marlboro, to Clagett Farm, which is an educational center for CBF, but it's a farm. It's an actual farm. Do you remember what happened yesterday?
I do, but
I don't exactly, except I know I had fun. Let's take a look. Hey,
Hi, it's good to see you.
Hilary.
Welcome to CBF.
Thank you so much for having us. We have been really jazzed about this, very excited about coming down here. And this is one cool building. It really is. I think it's like one of the most environmentally sensitive buildings in the country, is it not?
Yes, so we have been here since 2001, and this is the very first LEED certified platinum building in the world. And even
Did you say in the world?
in the world, even 22 years later, it is still a remarkable building, and we're so excited to show it to you today.
And we love the fact that we're combining cooking, agricultural, the beautiful bay, your platinum status for LEED certification, and everything else we're going to learn today.
Yeah, well, I'm excited about it, and a little bit later, we're going to cook.
Yeah.
So, hey, Corey Deere.
Hi, Corey. Mary
I'm the
Hassler.
facilities manager here at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. I'm here to give you a little tour of the place.
So, Corey, what's out here?
Well, we've got our green roof.
Yeah.
We also have some other cisterns here. Both of those are to slow down runoff from the building before it gets into the bay.
Yeah.
And then we also have a few bioretention ponds. Everything runs into, we have 3 of them actually, and they're linked together. It also just slows everything from getting into the bay.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for showing us around. I
Thank you.
really
Thanks for
appreciate
coming.
it. And we're going to head off to Clagett Farm.
Thank you, Corey.
All right.
Hi, Jared.
Oh, hey
How are
guys,
you?
how's it
Hey,
Doing
Jared,
well.
how are you?
Oh, wonderful.
Well, we have been looking forward to getting to Clagett Farm.
Yes, we have.
Well, absolutely. I've just been harvesting some food for you guys, so we
Well-
have something for you.
Well, thank you very much. It's looking good. It's looking good.
And some of my favorites are here.
So I know that Clagett Farm is part of Chesapeake Bay Foundation. So I guess a lot of people wonder, how does that all tie into the bay?
So we've learned that agriculture is one of the #1 sources of pollution in the Chesapeake Bay, but it's not as simple as not farming anymore, right? Because I mean, we all love food, we all love eating, and
Absolutely.
you know, I'm not ready to just give up food to save the bay.
No.
So we need to figure out, how do we farm in a way that can provide nutrition and sustenance for ourselves without harming the environment around us?
Yeah.
And that is the main question we're out here to answer.
And that's what you're doing.
That's what we're aiming to, yes.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of also, besides restorative, it's sort of an integrative approach because you do beef here.
Yes.
And you have fields of vegetables everywhere. You have greenhouses, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow, this is where a lot of the work gets done, isn't it?
So was that fun?
That was very fun. A little chilly, but very fun.
Very fun. And I learned a lot too.
I know. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, it really is. It's
Yeah.
mind-blowing
It
sometimes,
really is.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, but you know, we have an expert with us this evening
Okay.
on this whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't think we could have gotten anybody better, really.
I agree with you.
Yes, we did. Because this evening, we have the president and CEO of the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, Hilary Harp Falk. She's right live with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
It's so good to see you again.
It's so good to see both of you and be here tonight.
Yeah.
And cook.
And
And
cook.
cook.
We're gonna do
We're
that.
going to cook.
Well, you know, we were talking about all the kind of ways that cooking intersects with the health of the bay. So we thought, what better do than get things that are all local, seasonal, many things from the farm over at Clagett Farm, and put together a little bit of a meal.
Yep.
So
Looks
the
amazing.
first thing we're going to make tonight,
I have to say, John, these displays look beautiful.
Well,
And they came from the farm.
Exactly. This
Truly.
came- yeah.
Well, and I was going to say that this looks really familiar because this is also what's sitting on my counter at home.
Is it?
As a member of the farm, we've been cooking with all these vegetables this week.
It's really
just-
cool, isn't it? It really is fun. So we're going to do something, you know, sweet potatoes. Everybody around our area loves sweet potatoes, whether they're pies or whether they're glazing them or just roasting them. I could eat a sweet potato every night just with roasted sweet potatoes and some vegetables. But we're going to fancy it up just a little bit. We're going to make a spicy sweet potato cake with a apple and fig chutney, creme fraiche. And it's in quotes because we're going to cheat a little bit. So
That's okay.
but that's okay. It's still delicious. So to do this, basically all you have to do, I don't know, you know, if you've made many chutneys
Not
or
many,
anything.
but a few.
Well, and they're easy. Most of the time, everybody goes to the store and they say, oh my God, it's really hard to do. But it's not so much. It's pretty easy. So we have some apples here, Mary, that you can put in to our pot. We have a hot pot here.
Okay.
And I got the apples from Black Rock Orchard. And they're right up on the Maryland-Pennsylvania line. And in fact, there are markers from the Mason-Dixon line on their farm.
And they're also down on the 32nd Street Market, correct? They are, and they have a great display down there.
They do.
Like we always say, go to your farmers markets. They're everywhere.
Yep, either go to CSA or farmers
Oh, yeah,
market.
that too.
All right, now we have some dried figs.
Okay.
And what kind of figs are those?
They're black mission figs.
okay.
And the reason I like to use a dried fig for this particular thing is a fresh one, they just kind of disintegrate. There's so much water in a fig right off the tree, which is phenomenally delicious, right? But and let me grab this here. So we're just going to do that a little bit like so. And then just, how about some sugar, Mare?
Okay, this sugar?
Yeah.
Okay, all of it?
Yep, all of it's
Okay.
1 cup.
1 cup.
If you're counting, it's 1 cup.
1 cup.
And you know, you could go a little bit lighter on it, or you could do a mixture of local honey and sugar, or a local maple syrup. And
And I believe there is honey at Clagett's farm.
There
isn't
is.
it? Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
I love
There we
honey.
go.
Yeah, I
Whoa.
knew I saw that in the basket.
That was like our
Just
our
making
prize
sure John
basket.
had disappeared with it. Since
Exactly. Then we're going to put in some apple cider vinegar. It's
Okay.
about a half a cup, but that looks like a little bit more,
More
than
than
that.
we
So
need.
I go just about
Okay.
half of that, Mira.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Like that.
A little bit more, maybe a little bit. There, that's
Okay.
good. So you see kind of the ratio we have going on here. We have like 1 cup of sugar, and we have a half a cup of vinegar. And the apple cider vinegar is really good. It gives it a
It
much
does.
more robust flavor. So, all right, now we got
Smells
this
good.
all the way up to the very tip-top high.
We do. Let me make it on high.
Put that
I
on
do the
high.
controls so we don't burn the.
She's
the
totally in
condo.
charge of the control panel over here. Control panel. So did they have, are there any orchards on the farm yet?
Yeah, and we grow a lot of trees there,
Yeah.
also for our restoration work. So the great thing is that we can grow trees there and then plant them
Yeah.
all across the region.
Oh, that's, yeah, we saw the tree nursery and I loved it. Wasn't that
That
gorgeous?
was impressive,
I mean, it
yeah.
was just beautiful. The
just
rows and rows and
rows and
rows
rows.
of all local varieties of
Native.
trees.
They were
They're
native
all
varieties. I learned that
Yes.
word yesterday. Native varieties.
All right, now we have to do, what else we got to do? Some almonds.
Almonds.
Generally, I just do some toasted almonds, chop them up, and we'll throw that in there.
That looks good.
Again, easy. And then, so we're going to do a twofold thing here. We want to get some orange juice into this, but we
Okay.
also want to get some zest. Now, I used to make the mistake of doing the orange juice first. Not smart. You really should get a little
gotta
zest in first. Hillary, you think maybe you can help
Ooh,
us
I get to
with
do-
it?
I get
You're-
to do
you're-
zest.
you're in charge-
Okay.
You're charged
Zesting's
with zesting.
fun.
Here, we can bring this over here a
Okay.
little
Get
bit
right on
more.
over
Yeah,
here.
sure.
Sure.
Look at that. So we can zest like about a half of an orange or something.
Okay.
And then we can cut the orange and
I love zesting.
the
It's
orange-
fun. As long as I don't hit my knuckles.
that's a
You know, that's what I
you may have
always
seen
do.
that bumper
You know.
sticker.
You gotta
Yeah.
watch the knuckles.
Zesting is fun. Oh my God.
Okay, how am I doing?
That's
a little
good.
bit more?
That's
Yeah,
good.
maybe just
Very
a little
little.
tiny bit more.
Okay.
So people think, well, why would you put zest in something? You know, we have the juice. Why do we need the zest? Well, I think because it gives so much flavor. It's really powerful. And in the skin, it's all oil. So you're getting this kind of orange oil
Nice.
into the pot. And it's a completely different,
And you can smell. I mean, it smells just from the zest you did. You can really smell that it's wafting up.
Well, it seems like this would be something that would be great for the holidays too.
Yeah.
It absolutely would be. And you know, we did a holiday show last year, and we tried to do a bunch of recipes that you could make and maybe put them up or make little tins of things and give them as gifts. Because they're the coolest thing to have is gift. Because I know anytime anybody makes me some preserves or jellies or anything, every single time I use it, I think of that person. I really do. It's like the best gift I ever
agree.
get. All right, well, shall we? Let's
Yes, we
squeeze.
shall.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put the juice in there.
Good job,
Okay, use
everybody.
a good, strong hand muscle.
Yeah.
Strong hand. You can work your muscles too while you're doing this. See, it's like multi-purpose
and you
cooking.
can put your hands in anything if you like to. They also, if you want to be a really culinary expert, you can get what they call a reamer. And you go like that, and it gets almost all of the juice out. We didn't quite go there, but I think we did pretty well.
Okay.
Okay, so now we need some raisins.
Raisins. Okay.
And it's about a quarter of a cup. I'm using, just the regular dried raisins, but you could use the golden or what they call in England the sultanas
Okay.
in there if you want a more refined kind of.
Pretty. I love golden
chutney.
raisins.
Yeah.
I use them a lot. Okay.
And like so many things that are around the holidays, you have a lot of warm spices in there.
Okay.
So we have some ground cinnamon, and we have a little bit of fennel seed. Fennel gives it really nice flavor, this kind of licorice-ish
Okay.
kind of fennel.
Favorite.
And allspice.
Allspice?
Yeah, you want to
Okay.
throw a little allspice in there?
Do you want all of it in, or?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, why
You
not?
can't go wrong with
I mean,
that. I like it.
We can go wild today, right? So we get,
It's bubbling nicely,
yes,
Is.
and it looks pretty.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So now, I know everybody thinks that doing a chutney is difficult. We just did a chutney. And basically, all we have to do, we're going to reduce the heat a
Okay.
little bit, and we're going to let this simmer on a low heat for about 35 minutes until it sort of starts to thicken a bit. And that is all there is to making a apple fig chutney.
I love it.
So simple.
Yeah, so I think everybody can do
I
that.
can't wait.
All right, so we can take a meditative moment right now. We're going to watch this simmer, and then we can start again.
Okay.
Well, you know, a watched pot, I don't know, but we let that chutney simmer.
Oh,
And it's
look
beautiful.
at that.
And so, you know, it just comes down to a nice, thick kind of consistency. And once you let it sit, then from there into the refrigerator, it really congeals. You know, it's there. It just naturally congeals, and you can use it as we're going to very shortly, or you could, you know, can it essentially. You know, we put them into jars, sterilized jars,
beautiful.
and there you go. But if we're going to have spicy sweet potato cakes, we need to get some sweet potatoes started here. So I have some beautiful sweet potatoes from One Straw Farm from Joan Norman. I got these
That's
at the
beautiful.
32nd Street Farmers Market, which they're probably all sick of me talking about that. But that's where I am every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock is
great.
at the market. So anyway, what I did, in the recipe, it calls for roasted sweet potatoes. You can do any kind of thing that you want. You could boil them. You could steam them. So that's what I did. So
I get to be in charge.
Yeah, try that. And the thing I like about this, as opposed to boiling, the flesh, you know, stays pretty dry. It's
pretty.
And it doesn't get all, you know, soggy. So it's really nice, you know, if you can just do a steaming thing. But the other thing I do like to do, and you can get that same consistency, is put this in a hot oven, like about 400 degrees, roast them for about an hour, let them cool, definitely let them cool. And then
So just
we
breaking
can do
them
that.
up?
Yeah, just break them up, and then we'll do a little mashing. And
Oh, they're so pretty. Look at that color.
it
at
is.
that.
Look at that.
That's
just gorgeous,
beautiful.
isn't it?
Now, could you use yams?
You could.
Okay.
You could. It's always that fine line between yams
And
and
the sweet
sweet potatoes, and but they're absolutely beautiful. So since we did so well, we might
Yeah,
as
let's
well
keep going.
we might as well do another one right there. So this technically is the hardest part of the dish is to just either roasting, steaming, or getting your sweet potatoes cooked.
Ready.
And then once you have that done and they're cooled down where you can work with it, it's not quite all that difficult.
Okay, hand me that last one.
Okay, one
Okay,
more.
one more.
There you go.
I got it.
Here, why don't you put the wrappers in here so
Put
we
my-
can
put our wrappers
compost
in-
pile
Put
them?
those into the compost pile. Yeah, they had some nice composting going
You
over at
did.
Chesapeake Bay Foundation and the farm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so important.
It is so important. And, you know, we know that when we can keep food waste out of the landfill,
Yeah,
you know, and actually make it into soil, it's just solves so many problems at the same
Yeah.
time.
it is. It's
It's
just goes
amazing.
all the way around.
All the way
it's
around.
a
Yeah.
circular kind of thing with that. All right, so we did that.
Okay.
I'm really making Hilary
I
work
love
today.
it.
You are. I like
This is what I
it.
do
You
at
know,
home anyway.
You're doing
so-
great.
Sometimes some of our guest hosts, they don't have to do all that much.
Oh,
they
no.
just stand there
And
and
talk
look
and
really
chat.
I
lovely.
like
Hilary's
to
a
sous
worker,
chef,
yeah.
and I like to eat.
Yeah,
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Those are my.
All right, so we're doing a little of that. Then, really, it's about putting ingredients
Okay.
in. So we want to get some panko breadcrumbs,
Panko bread.
and we're going to use about 2 cups of those, but we
Okay.
have a little bit more than that
Okay.
in here, so I'll just put some of that there.
John, you're very good at eyeballing those measurements.
Oh, you know,
Yeah, it's like a talent.
after
you
you do it for like half a century,
You
it's
can do
sort
it.
of kind of
Yeah, I mean, you're very good with doing
comes
that.
together. But we did actually measure this, which is flour.
Okay.
And we're going to use about a half a cup of flour.
I get this a little bit out of the way so everybody can
We
see.
need to
Sounds
we
good.
need to
Oh, we
spread
need to
out.
spread out.
Come on.
We're going to be
Beautiful.
using our hands in a minute.
Beautiful sweet potatoes.
We need to do some of that there. All right, so you got flour, you got panko. Now we're going to use some cilantro.
Ooh.
All right.
This
now,
one, I
now let me explain to you about cilantro. I love cilantro, okay? However, there's many people in the Baltimore metropolitan area that are terrified of cilantro. And we think it's a genetic condition. And
You do use a lot of cilantro
yeah,
here.
and
Okay.
every time they eat it, they go, "Oh my God, it tastes like soap."
Cilantro? Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
I love it, but somebody said they actually did a scientific study, and the people that said that it tasted like soap had some differences in their genetic makeup. Isn't that interesting?
So everybody who's watching us right now, please
Yeah.
put in your comments if you're a pro cilantro person
Yes,
or
yes.
a con cilantro
we want to know.
person.
We need to find that out.
How do you have tacos without cilantro?
I don't know.
Well, okay.
I guess you could
yeah.
use Italian parsley. Flat
Oh,
Italian
okay.
parsley. And Italian parsley does have some flavor and taste to it. It's
Okay.
not just an ornamental kind of thing. All right, Mary, we better
Yes, sir.
get warm. We need to get some scallions in
Okay,
there.
we got beautiful scallions
The
here.
scallions are also known as green onions. We had some in our basket there, so
Mm-hmm.
we're just going to put some of those there. And then in your very own recipe at
Mm-hmm.
home, it says to get 2 small Thai chilies, right? Or a Serrano chili.
Okay.
And both of those chilies that says it in there, they're hot. These chilies are really, really hot. But we wanted to go just a little bit local with the chilies.
Okay.
And when we were out at Clagett Farm, we actually got some fish peppers. Now these fish peppers are sort of historic, and they're regional to the Chesapeake Bay. So they're called Chesapeake fish peppers, and they're part of African American culinary history. And it's recently been sort of revived and discovered. And so farms all around the region right now are growing these, which is so cool.
And they're you said they're a little less hot than a Serrano, or about the same?
Well, I say they're about the same as Serrano, a little less than the Thai chili.
Okay.
But they're hot. So here, we'll move this over here just for a second so we can see what we're doing here. So when you're doing the chili, we have some cut already, but I just want to show you as you do that, where the hot part of the chili is the seeds, because the seeds are the thing that contain all the oil. So if you know that your brother-in-law just loves hot stuff, leave all the seeds in.
Okay.
But if you think, I might kill him, you say, okay, I'm going to take some of those seeds out, and then you just want to mince it. Generally, we have a prop here. We have some gloves. We generally say put some gloves on, because if you don't put the gloves on, you're going to burn yourself. You'll touch your face or something like that. Okay, so anyway, we got that in there. We're going to put some of those chilies in there. We have a little bit more over there, Mary, right there. Okay, let's get this thing cooking here.
Okay.
Get that thing nice and hot for us, Mary.
Okay, is that enough?
Look at all that color.
We got some color in
Okay.
there. And then I'm gonna, let's see, what else do we have there that we have to put in? We got the chilies, we got the that, and scallions. I think we're doing pretty well.
I have to beat an egg, don't I?
All right,
Okay.
egg, and then we need salt
Okay.
and pepper.
Okay, we have plenty of salt and
Salt
Do you want the
and
fancy
pepper.
pepper or?
You can just use the regular pepper.
All right.
We have a mixture right there.
We
I
do.
can use.
Hey, there you go. All right, let me keep beating my egg.
All right. A little bit of salt and the pepper.
Now it's Is it mixing time?
Now
it
it's
might
mixing
be.
time. I
Everybody
think
put your gloves
I'm gonna
on.
get my gloves on here.
Do I
for
pour this
one.
on top?
Go right all over it.
Okay.
Right on in there.
All right. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, there you go. So essentially what you do at this
Mm-hmm.
point is just take and just start mixing. It's sort of like kneading the dough, right?
Okay.
And I'm going to put a
Now this is
little
on
bit-
medium heat. Is that okay?
You can go a little higher
Little
for
higher?
a second just till we get our Earl nice and hot.
Okay.
We're using a canola oil right now. You just want to use kind of a neutral oil
Okay.
for this. You don't want to use a like olive oil because generally what happens is it burns.
Right.
You know.
It's so neat that everything in there is grown right here.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that,
It's so
It's
isn't that cool?
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it can be. I mean, you know, when you go to CSAs, when you go to different places, you can do that. Can I get some of the panko?
Yes, you
I
can.
love that panko.
Panko.
What else did you enjoy about Clagett Farm yesterday?
Oh my God, it was like everything. I loved going to the greenhouse, and we met the cows.
We met the cows. We had it up close and personal with the
yes,
cows.
yes.
They
yeah.
were sweet.
They're so
you know,
nice and
they're
friendly.
Angus type cows. I don't remember their full names, but I know Angus was in there. Yeah.
So basically, what we're going to do right now is
Spin it.
here
make
you
it
go. You have your
Wow.
little thing here,
Okay.
and then
Coat it with a little
put
panko.
a little panko in. Do you think this thing's hot yet, Mir?
If I had some water, I could go like that.
That's what we usually do.
Oh,
Up.
sounds good.
All the way up.
All the way
Mir?
up? Okay.
All the way up, Mir.
All the way up.
So yeah, so this is basically what we have to do.
Okay. It already smells good.
And just take that,
Right.
throw that in there, and then I try to get off the excess. You know, you don't want to have a whole lot
Sure.
of stuff there. And
You want me to help?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do a couple more
We'll do
here,
a couple. Okay.
and then we do 2 more.
Okay.
And then we'll cook those
I'm
up,
going to copy whatever you're like twisting those little things. Yours
and
make
then little
Make them
panko.
nice and flat too.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, if you flatten them
Like that?
a little bit, they cook through
Okay.
better.
Is that good enough?
That looks gorgeous.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
I mean, this is like the arts and crafts section.
Yeah,
of the
I-
cooking thing. You know, you get your own signature thing there. Okay.
So true. Okay.
All right, there's Mayor's right
Okay.
there, live
Okay.
Bye.
in our show.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, well, we're gonna get that going,
Okay.
and then we'll move this out
Move
of
this
the
out.
way. And
They look
get that.
pretty.
And then I'm gonna get out our 1952.
I love it. It looks like my
Nice.
mom's
That's,
house.
Original.
the
Okay.
original. I always bring that out
Mhm, you do.
Sorry, I took this from you.
because Mary likes it.
I do like
She
it. It
loves
reminds me
that
of
one.
my growing up.
All right, good.
So, John, I can, when I'm frying something like this, I would call this frying or sauteing.
Yeah.
I never know quite when to turn it over, and I always mess it up.
Well, no.
What am I
wouldn't mess
looking
it up.
for?
Well, basically, you just want to get a little bit of
Oh, so you
of
peek
brown.
first.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just peek. You just want to get a little
Okay.
bit of brown on there. There's nothing in here that we're cooking.
Right.
Do you know
right.
what I mean?
Oh,
It's
right,
already
right,
cooked.
it's already
so
cooked.
basically, at this point, we're just trying to heat it through
Okay.
all the way through. That's the idea.
I can't wait to make this, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
I won't do the hot peppers because of my ulcer, but I can't wait to make it.
Yeah.
I'll have to do sweet peppers or something.
You do sweet peppers. That would be very nice.
Well, there's so many varieties.
There
that
are.
You could do something with that had less.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you could do all kinds of other things. Like we have some acorn squash
Oh, yeah.
from Clagett.
Yeah.
So you could roast the acorn squash, get the same volume that you would with the sweet potato when you
and
scoop it out, and do the exact same thing. You know, it could be acorn squash.
We made acorn squash soup this week
Oh, nice.
with some curry, and it was so good.
Ooh.
I have an 8 and 10-year-old, and even they were just loving it.
Turn that.
Okay. Wow,
you
they
go.
look beautiful, John.
Here we go.
Now we need to do is get a plate
Now we're going
here,
to present them. Okay.
and then we can turn that down a little bit near.
We're down. Okay.
Lovely. So we'll let those cook just a second. Now, remember what we had? We had a apple fig chutney,
Yes,
right?
we do.
And here we go. But then our kind of creamer in there was a creme fraiche.
Yes.
So Mare, what do we have there?
We have.
What we're going to call the creme fraiche.
Yes, creme fraiche.
So basically,
Exactly what it is.
Exactly.
basically a creme fraiche is a cultured cream.
Okay.
So you could do that, and generally, to do that, you take it and you put it on a over a warm space, and
Okay.
you cover it with some cheesecloth and let it sit for days, and then it gets thick. It's similar to a yogurt, and so that's what we did. We just use a Greek yogurt for that.
A plain Greek yogurt,
A
I
plain
assume.
Greek yogurt. Yeah, I guess you could go wild and get a peachy. Then you have a peach
Then you have a
apple.
peach apple.
And that goes right on in?
Yeah,
Wow.
so we're going to take that and just put that right in there,
Okay.
like that. And it just, it just gives a different consistency and everything for that. All right, so Mira, I'm just going to
Yes, sir.
take real quick, get myself
Paper towels.
a paper towel here. And just to get a little bit of the oil off of here. Lovely, look at that.
Wow, they look so pretty.
So pretty.
Do like that.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay, and then we're just going to take that and we'll put these hot as they are. They are really warmer than they look.
They look.
I know, they came right out of the
But
pan.
look at the presentation. Oh, look at this. Now we're going to make it
Now we
look
get
fancy.
into real chef mode.
Now, we have to get that there, like so. And then pretty much all you have to do at that point is get it, so you can kind of see how that,
Mix this together. It
and then we
blends.
just really, basically just put a dollop of it on top. And then you're ready to go.
Wow.
Like my mother would say at this point, go to war, Miss Murphy.
It looks
I never knew what that meant.
I also love that I could try to do this and it wouldn't look anywhere near.
Yeah, mine wouldn't either. My crab cakes when I make John's recipe kind of
Falling apart.
Yeah, I do my best.
So good.
So there we go. We have
Oh my
spicy
God,
sweet
they're
potato
beautiful.
cakes and nothing to it, right?
No, no,
All right,
not at all.
you can do it at home. All right, now we're going to get ready because we have a really cool recipe coming up next with a lentil salad, a warm lentil salad with goat cheeses and arugulas and meat from Clagett Farm. Okay, let's get ready. All right, are you ready to make kind of the main course now?
Yeah.
We are.
We did
Yes.
sort of an appetizer. And this is a combination between a hearty entree and also a little bit of a salad.
Nice.
Because we're going to make a warm lentil salad. I love lentils, especially this time of the year, with a cherry balsamic glaze. And when we were at Clagett Farm, we got beef there, red Angus
Red
beef.
Angus.
Yeah, and it's really beautiful. So we're gonna bring all of those kind of things together with some local goat cheese and some local arugula from Clagett Farm. So we got a lot going on. So to start this, we're gonna do a cherry balsamic reduction. This is what you would call in the cooking world foofy. It's foofy cooking, okay? This, you don't usually do this at home, but we're gonna do it
we're
and
doing
you can do it and it's not that hard. So
Okay.
Hillary and I are going to show you how to do it. So
Absolutely.
basically you want to get a nice good balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
So Hillary, you can just throw that right in there.
Right in here?
Right in there.
Right on in there.
Okay.
Here we go. All right,
Nice
we want
sound.
to get that sizzling.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hand that over there. And then just need some brown sugar.
Okay.
Brown
Yeah,
sugar.
yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yep. So that's a couple tablespoons of brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just clean this up there real quick. And then, depending on what kind of cherry you get, if you're right in the middle of cherry season and you have cherry pitter, you can do it then. If not, sometimes what we did last year, we would get from Black Rock Orchard tons and tons of cherries. We would pit them and then freeze them, put them in the freezer at Gertrude's. But if you don't have that, like the Rainier cherries are really nice. They have a great sweetness and a lot of flavor. And so we'll put that in there. And Mary's going to crank that up.
Crank it up.
Mary is now cranking up.
I am cranking it up. It is
the
on.
foofy kind of
Foofy,
the
cherry thing.
balsamic reduction that we are doing right now.
But seems also very simple.
It is.
Even if it's foofy.
But impressive.
Yes.
Impressive.
Anything with Rainier cherries in it is impressive, in
And then
my opinion.
I like to put,
Oh.
it doesn't have it in the recipe,
But?
but I like to put just a scooch, which is a culinary term,
It is.
of maple syrup in there.
I love
And,
maple syrup.
So that's good. So it's kind of like the other, we did, the chutney, similar thing. It's just going to have to come to a boil,
Okay.
reduce, and then after it does, Merritt,
Yep.
you can show us Right there is our finished product.
Yes, it is. It's
So
beautiful.
this is it. So that, you know, what we have right there is really, really liquidy, but you're gonna take this down. Usually takes about 20, 30 minutes on a slow cook, but I can do this because I'm a chef, but you can see
Wow.
it turns to a very
Beautiful.
nice glaze.
Wow.
I'll put that
Okay.
there for a second, Mary.
For a second, I will.
I'll eat that. All right. So
I'll
now
drink
we can get rid of some of this.
Okay.
We're going to get rid of our glaze for right
Mm-hmm.
now. And Mary has been working very hard. She's been actually cooking our lentils for us.
Yes.
For our warm thing. We can shut that off now
Okay.
too. And so the lentils don't take long to use. I use a brown lentil.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get them, the only thing that you need to do to prepare them generally is rinse them quite a number of times. And I usually go through them. The lentils you get nowadays are pretty good, but in the old days you might find little stone kind of thing from the
Oh.
thing. So it's always a good idea to
Check your
to
lentils.
Check
Check
your
'em.
lentils. All right, so we have that there.
Okay.
Well, we're going to let them sit for a 2nd and now Mary is going to show us
Sure.
some of her sautéing techniques. Okay, Mary, how about a little bit of that Earl?
Earl.
Put a little Earl on there.
This is olive oil, if I remember correctly. Correct?
Just, yep.
Is that enough?
That, looking good.
Okay.
Looking good. And then we're going to put all the lovely vegetables that you always like, that kind of perfume and make
I like
everything
it.
fragrant. So how about some diced onions? Okay, you have green onion.
Oh,
I have
okay.
diced onion
You
here.
do have diced onions.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
I like it.
And then how about a
One at a
little bit
time.
of celery?
Celery. Mm-hmm.
Nice. You know, another thing that you could do with this, besides just regular celery, if you wanted to make the salad have a kind of a different dimension, you could use celery root and
Oh.
dice that up really
Yeah.
finely and saute
Nice.
that in there. That could be really, really, really good too. And then we have some carrots. They're over there. They're looking lovely. And then a little
Thank
bit
you.
of bell pepper.
Bell pepper, the red.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then we also have some yellow over there too,
Oh, I love
which
yellow.
is really
Pretty.
making it pretty.
It
you
is.
know.
It is.
Is it gonna?
Rainbow here.
Uh-huh.
A rainbow.
We like that. And then how about a little bit of garlic? Garlic in just about everything is good.
And Clagett's has the best garlic
They
that
do.
I've ever seen in my life.
We do. I mean, it was so
Really?
It was so amazing.
When you were there, did the team tell you about our history, Chesapeake Bay Foundation's history with Clagett Farm?
No.
Tell
Yeah,
us.
so the farm was donated to the Chesapeake Bay Foundation in 1981. And so for 40 years, CBF has been farming Clagett Farm and restoring the soil, using it as a learning lab to do research around the practices that will not only create vegetables, but also protect the local waters and local rivers and streams.
Yeah.
And then also as a model for other farms in the area.
Wow.
And we've been talking a lot, as you all have, about regenerative agriculture and the importance of farming that really works with nature.
Yeah.
And so we're so excited to do that at Clagett Farm.
And it's obvious. You can just look. I mean, I've been on a lot of farms and I spend a lot of time there. The soil is amazing.
Beautiful.
It really is amazing. And it's all about the soil. You know, some people say it's all about the dirt. It's all about the soil because there's so many living organisms in there. That's what makes our food. You know, it really is. It's what makes our food. It's what grows our food. And it gives you so much of kind of the nutrients that you need and microbes that you kind of need for your gut and everything. It's all about the soil.
soil.
Really is. So they do a marvelous job there.
So it was a working farm before you inherited it, before you were given it.
Yeah,
correct?
and it is still a working farm in
Yeah.
that we have community-supported agriculture there,
Yeah.
where you can get a share of vegetables for your family.
Uh-huh.
And then we work also with the Capital Area Food Bank to donate thousands of pounds of produce for families in need around the region.
That's
And
what
so
we
we're
heard,
great-
heard
yeah,
yesterday.
Great partnership.
And you're clawing your way to 1 million pounds
Yeah.
right now,
Wow.
which is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it really is. All right, Mary, how are you feeling about your lentils?
Let me turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, we can shut the lentils off.
Shut the lentils off.
Okay, they're off. And then could I get that strainer there,
You sure
darling?
can. Here's your 1929 strainer,
This
dear.
is a 1929 strainer. It's like
It looks like
cooking
my
in the
granddad's.
Chesapeake cooking in the past.
Yeah.
So the lentils cook for generally about 20, 25 minutes. They don't take long to cook, even if you're using them in a soup or anything. They absorb a lot of water. They really do. So I'm just going to do a quick drain here while you two talk amongst yourselves. And
You know, I thought the farm was very interesting yesterday, and it's beautiful property, and the Angus cows were very friendly. They were watching us as we were taping, so all good.
Yeah, we have a great team out there that do everything from work with the herd to grow vegetables and trees for planting all around the region. We know that farms are an essential part of the Chesapeake Bay cleanup, and so how great to have a working model for other farmers and interested groups to go visit.
exactly. And I mean, a lot of times I don't think people get that connection between the farm and the bay, or our food choices and the farm and the bay.
Absolutely.
And it's so important. And I also think that the whole idea of Clagett being a teaching farm for other farms is so important, because it really, it's just so important, because as we change a little bit of our farming practices, it has so much impact. It really, really does. And, traditionally, in the Chesapeake region, we grew and raised everything that we needed to eat year-round. And us, just like many other or most other American cities or regions, as big ag came in and in centralized locations in the Midwest, everything kind of changed. And so a lot of those little towns that and I know, they were all agricultural regions. They were fisheries. They were all those things. And many of those towns just started going by the wayside. But with Clagett, and like when we go to the farmer's market, I see such a change just in the last 25 years that I've been at Gertrude's and go to the farm. Things have changed. They really are.
have.
And so you know how I talk about that. It's like us rebuilding our local food economy. And everything that CBF does and Clagett Farm is just central to that.
Well, we know that rebuilding the food economy will also get us clean rivers and streams and a healthy Chesapeake Bay. And so those connections are so critical to me.
And I'm a big supporter of that. When we do that, we have healthier bodies.
Yes.
We just do.
Right.
I mean, it's just do. So Mary has done an amazing job, ladies and gentlemen, of sauteing these, and it is very colorful. So we have the legumes here. We have all kinds of vegetables. Let me see if I can get this here so that we can see it nice.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe you can, I'll do that and you can put all that in there for us. Look at that.
Looks beautiful.
Looking good. Love it.
We don't want to miss any.
Yeah,
Not with all of Mary's good work.
that's everything that you
And
did.
or the little bits.
That was
the
pretty
little
good.
bits.
Here, we'll
There you
put that
go.
over there. Mary can lick the bowl later.
Thank you. I will.
All right, so we have that in there. And now, basically what we want to do, we want to flavor the salad. So we have beautiful sauteed vegetables in there. We're going to need some green onions.
Green onions.
So we didn't saute the green onion because you want that kind of fresh bite in with the salad. And then, Mary, do you have a little bit of vinegar, sherry wine
think I
vinegar?
do.
Oh, look at that.
I believe this is what you're looking for.
Lovely. So this is the salad component. We have the vegetables, we have the lentils, and then we have a little bit of the acidic nature there. And we got the oil in already because you used olive oil.
Did.
All right, so right now this is hot. We're going for warm is our operative word here. So we'll let that go there for a second. And then when we were down at Clagett Farm, I mean, the greens and everything there, We actually ate a bunch when
We did.
on our way home in the car eating. So
Well, and just recently you could tell that summer was ending because of the crops, and now fall is here.
Yeah.
So,
Fall is here.
It's a perfect
yeah,
example.
these last things. So this is some big arugula. Look at this. I mean,
Beautiful.
and it really is. It's just beautiful, and it's really nice. It has a wonderful flavor. Sometimes it's really too hot, but this is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So if you have the tiny leaves, you don't have to do too much to that at all. But for a larger leaf like this, you just want to do, a little bit.
I love watching you chop things.
It's almost, you could say it's almost a chiffonade, essentially.
Okay.
Which is a cut.
A fancy cut.
It's
Fancy
a fancy
cut.
cut. It's just a fancy way of uniformly chopping. That's about it. So there we go. So we have that there ready to go, and then we have some beautiful goat cheese here.
We do.
This is from Charlottetown Farm,
Okay.
Also in Baltimore County. Pam Miller does a lovely job, and I hang out with her every week at the farmer's market. So we're going to put the goat cheese in just like this. So what do you think's happening right now? We have a hot salad. We're putting in goat cheese, and then we're going to take the arugula and put that all over top like so. And then
Gotta keep cooking.
it's going to cook,
Wow.
and the cheese is going to melt
Melt.
a bit.
Kind of
you
the
see?
flavors are going to blend.
And there you go.
Wow.
And so look at that. Do we have some of that salt and pepper blend that we made
do.
earlier?
There you go.
Mary and I make our own blend.
We should sell it.
We're going to sell that.
It looks good.
So, okay, so really at this point, all you're doing is tossing the salad, and you can see how the cheese is melting through
Yeah.
already.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
Mira, I think if we get our platter that they were so kindly, we put that out there,
Okay.
Okay, let's make
like
it.
so, and put that right up here. Let me see, get this off of here. And then I think Mary has a saute pan
Saute pan.
that
Yes, I
she's
do.
ready for us.
Okay.
Right
this
there, right there.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna let this sit right here just for a second. And we have some beautiful meat right there. Let me grab that out of the Frigidaire. Let me find my Frigidaire here. I have all kind of meat from Clagett Farms here.
Oh, you
Okay,
do.
cool. There we go, turn that.
Okay.
Here we are. So look at this. I have a couple of different things here. Mary, do you have this all the way up? Good.
do.
Okay, so when we were down at Clagett, we got a little bit of New York strip. Now, you say this is a red Angus, right?
Yep.
Look at this meat. I mean,
red.
you don't find this at the supermarket. Trust me. This is a whole different ball of wax here. And then this is the pièce de la résistance. This is the filet mignon. Look at that. Isn't
Now, what's
gorgeous?
that cut? There's little. It's cut in little.
So I cut them into medallions.
Medallions,
Now let's say
okay.
that you had a big expense account and you had a whole tenderloin. You could roast the tenderloin.
Okay.
Rub it with olive oil and put salts and all kinds of herbs. You could roast that to about, I would say, medium rare.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is, Mary, if you put a little bit of that in there, we're going to make just saute medallions, just to medium rare, medium, whatever you like or whatever your family likes. So I just wanted to show that you could use different cuts. The tenderloin obviously is that, but you can also use a New York, like a strip with it, and you can see how it's marbled
Very
lovely
pretty.
and very tender. And then also, when I was down there, we got some sausage, some sweet Italian sausage. But look at the color.
Yeah, I've never seen
Again,
anything quite that
I mean,
vibrant.
when we were talking
Yeah.
about red Angus, it's just amazing. And I just wanted to show this, not only because it's a marvelous product, but it's something that would work really nice with this salad as well.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have tenderloin, So if you didn't have a New York strip, you could get a lovely local sausage and cook that. You could cut it down
And then just
and
put it
put
right
that all around it,
Wow.
just like we're going to do with this, right? So here we go. So I'm just going to start, we'll do some little mound in here of our thing here. So there, you would just be kind of doing your plate sort of like so, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you make sure that the chef doesn't catch on fire while he's doing
Always making it
this.
pretty.
I was gonna
While
say.
he's making it pretty. Okay, we'll put that there. Never mind. All right, Mira.
Okay.
So when you're gonna saute these medallions,
Yes.
some of the things that I would suggest, number one, you want to have a good hot pan, okay?
It's hot.
You don't want to start, and I'm just putting a little bit of S&P on
Okay. top
of there. And just gonna take a, let me get in here.
Sure.
And that's just regular, just oil.
Yes, just oil.
Wow.
Just lay this down here.
So why do you always start with a hot pan?
Because it sears it. You
Gotcha.
know, like whenever
Okay.
you're doing a roast or something, they always say sear
Sear
the
it?
meat
Okay.
first. That kind of sears in
Okay.
the juices, and it just
Okay.
makes it
Makes it
beautiful.
good.
So here we have our little tweezers, also known as tongs. And the thing that I like about, I mean, obviously, if you were going to do a whole tenderloin, you could do that earlier and it's sitting, resting, and it's ready to go. But this, you know, you can do this, what they call a la minute, right when you're getting ready to
Sure.
eat. So we'll just put all these down here. Oh, we have a big one here. That's a big thing. I will put that in there too.
Sure.
Eat that later. Oh no, this, you know what I did? I wanted to show what the New York strip
Oh,
actually looked
okay.
like.
Actual strip.
Yeah,
That's
this
right.
is the actual strip.
Strip. Okay.
And then you could just cut that right into medallions.
Okay.
So you see, not too much. Flip it over
Browning nicely.
and nicely. There we go.
Now, how do you usually cook this? Medium?
I generally
Rare.
do it medium rare.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I like it. And most of the time, if we're going to do this at the restaurant or anything, we go for a medium rare. Unless people say they don't want it, they
Okay.
like it medium, they want it well done. We can do any of those things. I mean, sometimes we get really upset when we have a beautiful
I know. That's my
filet
husband.
filet mignon that says,
My
"I
husband's
want-
well done.
I want
And
that.
I'm like,
I want that
no.
really well
I
done." He's like,
know.
"Oh no, God, why?" But we do it.
Okay.
You know, that's what you do. The customer is always right. Yeah. So whatever they like. All right. So basically, it's just a real easy, quick saute with this. And one of the other things that I thought was important to talk about, you know, sometimes people don't think about animals in that whole kind of process of a regenerative, you know, kind of farming, and why it is important to have kind of an integrated thing. You're having crops, you have greens, you have vegetables, some have chickens, some have cows, goats, whatever, but how it all works together, just like you were saying.
Absolutely, and rotational grazing is a really important practice for regenerative agriculture. But so is, you know, just keeping livestock out of streams. And so we look for ways to use forested buffers and other ways to keep cows out of streams, because that's such an important part of it. But
It is, yeah. All right, so we're going to just say we have this, and I'm going to start taking
Wow.
and just laying down the medallions. And we can just do it around, generally I just do it around the salad, like so.
oh my gosh.
La. Put this, actually I'll put this one here, like that there. And we can put this little one right on the top. We like.
It's so
and we can
cute.
get rid of that. Let me grab myself my very own paper towel here.
Okay.
So we can clean this up just a touch, like so.
Yes, our chef wouldn't like it if the plate wasn't
No
pretty.
chef treatment.
No.
Just want it to look spiffy a little bit there. And then, Mare,
Uh-huh.
you have your very own glaze there that
I do.
you helped us
Okay,
do.
there you go.
And so you could put this kind of in a squirt bottle.
Okay.
That's how we usually do it at the restaurant. But at your home, you can just go kind of, just do a light little drizzle.
That's so pretty.
Look at that. Voila. So it's all, this is often what they call plant forward, because we could get like a 16, 18, 20 ounce steak and go for that, or we could look at it in a different way and like the legumes with their things that you turn into casseroles and use meat and chicken and stuff in it. So I always talk about stretching that precious protein source. And, I find it's good for the bay, it's good for your body, and it's good for the local food economy because everything kind of comes together in it. And so it's a pretty nifty thing. Cooking can be really all, you get out there, we're going to do it. And we can help clean the bay, save the bay.
Support our farms, support our local ag communities, our
Yeah.
farmers market.
Yeah,
It's like a holistic approach.
it is.
Yeah.
And we do it one bite at a time. Yes. So, we've had a very, very stressful day here today, cooking, as you can see. We really do that. So we're going to just take one quick second because we need a drink. Okay, guys, it's time for the hooch.
It's time.
We said we had to have a little something to finish the evening off, and so I thought that we would do something from Hex Ferments. They're a really cool company. They're based in Baltimore that does kombucha and kind of fermented products. They do an amazing sauerkraut, and so we got some of their ginger kombucha, and this is actually their recipe. They gave it to me for my book, New Chesapeake Kitchen, and I thought that'd be kind of fun. So we have a ginger component there, right?
Okay.
And then what else we have?
We got ginger.
This is ginger, and it's actually from Clagett Farm. Look, we had never
It's real ginger.
We had never seen real ginger growing, and everywhere we went, we were just smelling, and it's like, oh my God, that is just so good. So we just took a tiny bit. This is not in the recipe, but we can do whatever we want. We took some of the fresh ginger, fresh ginger, and just minced that up. And now we're going to put this together. It's a Manhattan, but it's made with rum, which is a little bit different than the traditional thing. So Hilary, maybe you can help me with this. We'll get some ice in there. And while doing that, I'm going to take some rum here. Put a couple of them in there. One. And put another part in here. Two. And then use the rest of the bottle.
I just finished the bottle up.
It was almost
very
empty.
pretty bottle.
For God's sake. Okay, so that was 2 parts of that, right?
Okay.
And then we have sweet vermouth.
Okay.
I wasn't quite sure about that. It says something about a aperitif vermouth.
Yeah.
But we're going to put one. That in there, got that? Well, that was one. I think it was one.
Very close.
All right, now we're going to go.
You have bartenders at Gertrude's, right? Okay.
That's why we make no money. All right, we'll get rid of that there.
That is why you have bartenders. Okay.
Exactly. All right, so now we're going to do the half part of maple syrup.
Okay, maple syrup. Can't go wrong. Maple syrup's good with
Boom, like that.
Awesome.
And then we have, maybe put a couple more cubes in there. Make it nice and cold. And then we're going to put the top on here.
Okay, watch out, Hilary.
I know.
And then you kind of do the Tom Cruise thing, right, or
Okay,
whatever.
the
It's like,
movie, I get it. Okay.
oh my God.
Okay.
All right, we shake it up.
You're doing
Shake
great.
it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
It's awesome.
It's feeling good.
We need music.
Okay. And then I think you're supposed to take and knock it against something.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
To do something? Oh, it looks good.
Nice and
Okay,
frothy
then we're gonna
thing.
Frothy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
frothy.
cool.
Frothy. And we're going to take just a little bit, and a little bit more,
bit.
until I see how much we got left, and then
Okay,
we
and
can.
then
Then we may have to rethink this whole thing here, right? And then here.
Well, this would be fun during the holidays.
Right, yeah.
With family. It would be fun to do.
And then to finish it, Mary's going to put just a little bit of kombucha.
Like, you tell me when.
Okay.
I'm not pouring this too well, am I? Was that too much or
Well,
too
they
little?
say 2 parts.
Oh, 2 parts.
All right, let's see if she can get 2 parts in, ladies and gentlemen.
I can do that. There you
There's
go.
one.
Ooh, there's one.
Okay, well, we'll go almost 2. Okay, that's
You
good.
guys must get into a lot of trouble.
We do. All right, Mayor. So anyway, we did have a locavore component here
one.
with our cocktail. We have the Hex Ferments, right from Baltimore.
I'm
we have local ginger
Yes,
from
and-
Clagett Farm, fresh.
And you can freeze that, by the way. If you get ginger, they told us at the farm you can freeze it and then just shave off what you need and then throw it back in the freezer.
Which is awesome.
Which is
It
really
really
awesome
is.
if you use a lot of
Okay,
ginger.
so we have that there, right there. And then we're going to take some of these fancy schmancy cherries, some of the fanciest, schmanciest cherries known to mankind, and take those out here. They say to put 1 or 2 in each one, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to give somebody 2.
Okay.
And then,
That's mine.
That's yours. All right. I see where we're going here. Put 1 there, and then I'll put another 1 there, and there you go.
Wow.
All right. So here we are.
Thank
There.
you. Mm-hmm.
Hilary.
Okay.
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 Well, we have just completed another episode of Chesapeake Farm and Beta Table, and we want to say to all of you, cheers.
Cheers.
Keep on cooking. Cook local, right? Whoa. That is good. Get
That
that
is
recipe.
good.
We have that in your
I
little
agree.
packet. All right. Now, as I always tell you, don't you dare turn your computer off or anything
That's
like
right.
that, because after we finish everything, we're going to have an awesome question and answer session with all of us, that if you have questions, anything you want to know, we'll tell you. It's amazing the things we've told people. But in the meantime, I want to just thank you, as always, all of you, for allowing us to come into your homes, to your kitchens, to hang out with us, to talk about all that the Chesapeake region has to offer, the bounty, and being part of it with us in trying to protect it, preserve it, make it healthier, and to rebuild our local food economies. So you guys are awesome. And as I always say, get ye to a farmer's market, get ye to a CSA or a farm stand in your neighborhood, and figure out what you got and get cooking. We have so many people to thank, don't we?
We do.
Many people to thank. Obviously, we want to thank everybody from Harford County Public Library, the whole team there, our Common Table people, that team over there that's been helping to make everything work so well, and Louis and his production team. And we especially want to thank Hilary and the Chesapeake Bay Foundation for being so kind and so open and generous and showing us all around. And we really scored at the farm.
We did. We did.
And we also want to, we're really excited because you're pretty new in the position. And I have to do a disclaimer. I've known Hilary for a really long time, and I'm very good friends of her mom and dad. In fact, her dad, David Harp, did the photography for my book, The New Chesapeake Kitchen, and many of his absolutely beautiful photographs are hanging in Gertrude's in these gorgeous oversized frames. So we have a long
We
connection.
do, and thank you so much for having me today and going to see the Merrill Center and Clagett Farm, where so many wonderful things are happening. So
Yeah.
Thanks for including us.
And you can do that too.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. So make sure, again, don't unplug. Don't you unplug, I'll find you. But we're excited about the next month, so make sure that you come back with us for that, because we're going to be talking about festivals from around the Chesapeake, and there's so many in the fall. And we're going to head down to St. Mary County to the U.S. Oyster Festival, and that's where they have the competition for the shucking, and the winner of that goes to Galway, Ireland, for the world competition.
Wow.
And we're also, I'm fortunate, I'm one of the judges from the U.S. Oyster Festival cooking contest. So we're all going to be down there, and you're going to learn so many things about oysters, about seafood, about Southern Maryland. So make sure that you tune in and join us for that. And until then, let's just keep on cooking, and then we'll do some Q&A. Thanks again very much for joining us today, right here in our kitchen. And thank you
Thank
guys,
you.
too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. Hey, John.
Hey, Mayor, how are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, I keep laughing. Everybody keeps saying it's really a good thing you reminded John that he has to have good bartenders at the restaurant. I'm like, oh yeah, we definitely failed that one. So full disclosure, I did put a disclaimer in the chat. Make sure you follow the recipe and use the measurement things, unlike what I was pouring in. But you know, hi,
You
Hillary.
did a great job.
Hi.
And it tasted amazing, Mary.
Well,
Hi,
I do
John.
have-
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Hillary.
Hey, Hillary.
So that was a lot of fun. We do have a couple of questions. We did do the poll on cilantro, and I have to say that the pro cilantro folks won. And
Yes.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. So who knew? I think we should do polls every time during the cooking show. It was a lot of fun. So here's our first question, John. It's about the cherries that we used in one of the recipes. Can you use frozen cherries for the recipe? Substitute the fresh ones for frozen or the dried ones for frozen.
Yeah, absolutely. Generally, a good portion of the year, you're only going to be able to get a good quality frozen cherry. Often, when we go to Dave Hockheimer's at the farmer's market on Saturday during cherry season, I try to snag some up, some quantity up. We'll pit some and then put them in plastic bags and then freeze them. And they hold up very, very nicely. So a frozen cherry will work beautifully in that recipe.
Okay, great. That's terrific. All right. So Hillary, this one's for you. This is from Linda. Linda gave a big shout out for one of our local up in Harford County regenerative farms that we have called Grandview Farms, and they're fabulous too. They've been around a long time. So your Clagett's farm is a regenerative farm. Tell us, why is that so significant to have that I guess that descriptor for your farm?
Yeah, it's incredibly important because it is a philosophy around farming that really mimics nature. And we know that when farms are mimicking nature and creating healthy soils, then we're going to have stronger farms and better water quality for the Chesapeake Bay and the rivers and streams that feed it.
Okay, all right, great. John, here's your question. Somebody else, I think that our Clagett farming B-roll, hi, B-roll was very popular, and somebody wanted to know, and I believe it was the ginger plants, the tubular things that we were pulling out when we were in the beginning.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit, how impressed were you with the way that they were growing the ginger? I mean, I was in awe of it. I thought ginger was exotic and came from Asia. That's how much I thought about it.
I'm right with you, Mary. I really am, because I don't know. I must have been living in a bubble or something. I had no idea that ginger could be grown around here or in the Chesapeake. I just had absolutely no idea. I just assumed most of the ginger that I was getting was coming from Asia, but that's not quite the case. And I was telling Hillary when I walked in there, I saw the little pots that we were looking at that just had the soil and kind of the starting of the ginger. And I thought that was the ginger part. And all the pots in the back with all the foliage and everything, I thought, oh my God, they are the most beautiful potted plants that they're growing here. And then lo and behold, we're pulling it up and got that amazing ginger. I still have some. I took it to the restaurant and we've been using it with all kinds of things. It's really pretty cool to use a fresh ginger. You don't get that opportunity that often. And it has such a beautiful, fresh, wonderful, fragrant smell and taste. So I think we really scored when we went over there and saw the whole thing. It was wild. I loved it.
And we learned one tip about the fresh. That's true. That was truly out of the dirt into our hands, into our kitchen. We learned also that you can freeze the bulb, the ginger bulb, And then when you need it, just take it out and grate, or cut off what you need for whatever you're cooking. So I didn't know you could freeze ginger. So there's a little tip that we learned from Clagett's farm.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's a great thing to know.
We used it to make Thai food this week, and it was delicious. So we've been using up all of our ginger. We're not going to need to freeze it.
That's true. That's true. So we have another question. We were talking about the red Angus beef, and when we were taping the show, I couldn't remember the whole red part. I remembered Angus, but not the red. So what makes, if anybody knows this answer, what makes that type of beef different than, say, I don't know, I guess other type of beef cattle out there?
Well, I'm going to throw that over to Hilary first, and then I'll come back on that.
And I'm going to say I have no idea, but I'm happy to find out and get to our experts on Clagett Farm to get that answer for you.
Okay.
Well, the best thing that I can figure, it's a breed of cow. You often hear about the black Angus. That's the most prevalent breed of cattle that there is. And I would be interested, because I didn't find out that day, why they chose to raise red Angus. And when we're talking about stretching the protein, I don't eat a tremendous amount, like big steaks, but I do have to say, Mary, when we sauteed that, those pieces of meat up, and then I took some back to the restaurant, and we were all in agreement it may be the most tasty beef that we have ever eaten in our lives. And I mean, that's saying something, because I have had a few things. So yeah, I'd love to find out more about that myself, about that breed, the red Angus.
Okay. And I believe when we were on the farm, they were talking about, this is very special beef that the red Angus cattle produces, and it is because of its flavor, its tenderness. It's very, I guess you would say, high end, to use a layman's term on it. So it was delicious.
Yeah.
So here we go. We have another question. How can someone get more involved with CBF? And that's the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. And is the Merrill Center and Clagett Farm open to the public? And can we buy produce from there?
So many great questions. You can learn a lot more about the Chesapeake Bay Foundation at cbf.org. And that's a great place to become a member, learn about events at CBF, and ways to get involved in Clagett Farm, including how to join the CSA, or Community Supported Agriculture, where you can get vegetables from Clagett, either picking them up at the farm, or you can come to the Merrill Center to pick them up each week during the growing season. So lots of ways to get involved. And Jared's on too, so he's got an answer to the question around red Angus.
All right, great.
So Jared did provide an answer on that, and it was, per Jared plans to everyone. There are some breeds that are great for grass-fed operation. They do a wonderful job maintaining our pastures at Clagett Farm. So there you go. Thank you, Jared, for coming in. And we put in the links in the chat, links back to the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, and also Clagett's Farms. And as we always talk about in every show, every episode we do, we have amazing farms, local farmers throughout the entire state of Maryland. And if you're watching this internationally, because we do have fans who do tune in from other countries, I bet there are farms in your local neighborhoods too. So Clagett's Farm is fabulous. It's a great day trip if you're not too far away. But if you're a little too far away, look locally. Look at your agricultural center for your government, your county. They have lists of farms like Grandview in Harford County, or wherever you want to shop. And we know our farmers market, and some of them go winter. Like I believe, does the 32nd Street Market in Baltimore go year round, John?
Yeah, it does. It's the only year-round market that there is in the city.
There you go. So, something's there for everyone. So, and Jared also is asking, they like volunteers down at CBF and probably at Clagett's too. So take a look at their website. And I know our farming community always appreciates the support that we give them. So I think that was it for our questions tonight. Is there anything, Hilary, what else would you like to share that maybe we didn't touch on, that either the foundation or Clagett's Farm?
Well, we're just so excited about the team at Clagett, and Jared and everybody there are just doing a phenomenal job creating a living laboratory for farming, growing really tasty vegetables, and looking at the future of farming. So we hope you'll get involved, whether it's with Clagett Farm or with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. We know that healthy farms mean clean water. And Mary and John, it's been such a pleasure to join you on the cooking show, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Hey,
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure as well.
and John, what parting thoughts? Anything we cooked tonight that you want to mention? Something we didn't touch upon? I love the recipes tonight. I really did. They were the type of recipes I would actually go back and do again.
Yeah, you're right. And in fact, today I was making my toast. I make my morning toast, my brown bread toast. And I was thinking that some of that chutney that we made would have been right nice on that. So it took me back to that thought process of I want to make some and hand some of it out for the holidays. And so that would be one of the parting thoughts is, to get out there and try it. Just try it. It's so easy. Wasn't it, Mary?
It really, if I can do it, it was easy. Trust me, it was easy.
I mean, it was really, really easy. And the other thing, again, if you're looking for some of these apples or pears or anything that you want local, another great resource is marylandsbest.net. Gives you a great selection of local farmers markets, how long they run each season, and they're out there. These people are out there. So get out there, help us rebuild that local food economy, and be a cheerleader for the Chesapeake, be a cheerleader for our region. And we can do it. We can make a lot of difference, one bite at a time.
I agree. So I hope everybody follows this. November 9th is our next episode. It is oyster everywhere. And we are going to the U.S. Oyster Festival this weekend to do a little filming and interviewing. And John is going to be the amazing judge. And the winner of the oyster shucking contest, I believe, goes international and competes representing the United States. Is that correct, John?
They do. They go to Galway, Ireland. And it's the World Championship. So that's one thing you do. If you're not, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the world, if you're not doing anything this week, come on down. It's St. Mary's County. It's the U.S. National Oyster Festival. Just Google it. You can get their website. And come on down and see us. You can see the Queen and the King of the Oyster Festival. And we'll have a great time.
We will. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you on November 9th. And in the meantime, do some cooking and plan those holiday treats. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
All right,
Thank
see
you,
y'all.
Mary. Thank you, John.
Mary, thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye.